All right. Hey, how you doing? This is Eric from Amp Live TV and Amp Live Real Estate Show, coming to you here today for Friday highlights and the pulse of real estate. Just want to touch base. Take a couple minutes of your time today. It's super important. Some awesome stuff going into the weekend as you're going into summer, as you're going into the next quarter. Oops, I'm going to turn that down. Of creative real estate or just real estate in general. Today we're going to be talking about creative real estate investing. There's a link down below. Obviously, that's for the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, our newest creation for newbies, seasoned investors, agents, brokers, all across the board, because creative real estate investing is not going anywhere, right? So obviously, you got to learn it. I would say adjust, adapt, or you will perish. I say rock and roll. Same token, if I'm preaching that, I need to be talking about it. I need to be doing it as well. And that's why we have this program, which is the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. For today, I'm gonna go ahead and got my H2O for I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie, Waterboy, with Adam Sandler and the doll hairs, but some funny shit. Anyways, let's get into it. So they got that right there. I'm gonna talk a little bit about a little bit of training for you as well. Let's go ahead and open this up here. I'm gonna share that with you. As you can see, that's where we're at right now. And by Sunday midnight, it's going to go to $12,997. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Obviously, the guarantee. Yes, you're going to close the deal within 90 days. We'll continue to work with you. Bonus number 1, live deal analysis call for the first 25 peeps. Bonus number 2, obviously, you'll be inside the private community with myself. We're actually going to add you to RCs, where we actually train and mentor our one-on-one mentees. So you're going to get some live one-on-one mentoring for the next 6 weeks, as well as some live coaching. Our schedule is very simple. Tuesday, support. Wednesday, deal analysis. Friday, we go through every part of the program week by week, and then go into the weekend, because deals are done on the weekend. And they're done, yes, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm just kidding. Look, the days are days with their days. They're called what they're called, right? It's just part of, I guess it's part of the program, part of everything that's out there, with the government and things of that nature. Monday could be a Sunday. You're like, I know when I was working a corporate job, and I'd be off on like a Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do on a Tuesday or Wednesday, right? Tuesday, pay bills, and then Wednesday, relax, and then go back to work. So it was like I was working 6 days a week anyways, and a lot of times I was, because they'd call me in on a Saturday, or they'd call me in on a Wednesday, I should say, because Tuesday and Wednesday was my Friday and Saturday as my weekend, right? So, somebody call out sick. Hey, we need you to do this, do that. Boom. Who's available? Well, that's me, because I made myself available. I know there's a thing that I've read that said, look, you always will have a job if you're willing to do more than what you're paid to do. And I just learned that over a period of time, and it's true. Always had a job, always stuck out of the job or career, and always done more. So I'd be the guy that they would call. So they'd call me, and I would come in, no matter what. Didn't matter what it was, because that's what I committed to do. That's just a kind of weird thing that I do, that I'm about. So that's what I would do. I would come in. So Tuesday would be my bill day, and then Wednesday would be a day off. But if they call me on my day off, then hey, they can get a day off. So 40, 50, 60, 80, 90 hours a week on a salary, all that good stuff. So it is what it is. But check that out. So we'll keep on rolling here. Bonus number. So as far as that's concerned, yes, deals are done at all different times, right? So like I said, my weekend was a Tuesday and Wednesday. So it's just a day. You can call it whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's still, it's either going to be a day off or not. All right. Motivated seller scripts. You're going to get all that good stuff. Also, I'm going to throw some bonuses in here. I believe it's down here. But let me see what we got. I'll pull that back up. I'll just go through it. Why not? Okay, so you're gonna with this program, you're gonna find motivated sellers, make offers with confidence, use creative financing strategies. That's the beauty of this program, because the beauty of this program is, like I mentioned before, you can buy into a sub 2 program. It's going to cost you $8,000 to $12,000 or more. You can get into just a real estate program that says, hey, I want to be a real estate investor, and they're going to teach you wholesaling, and that's really it. For $15,000, $20,000, $26,000, and they'll set up your systems and all that good stuff, direct mail, and still spin those wheels, right? It happens. I had people come aboard that were nurses and worked for the Air Force, or they're IT people. There's, let me see what else. business owners, software programmers, a lot of analytical people for whatever reason, and some salespeople, handful of salespeople that sold, whatever at the end of the day, whether it's cars, whether it's music, whether it's, the mean green, big old bags of dope and stuff. I'm just kidding. Right. But just a little humor there. Definitely like, love, and share. Appreciate it. Look, I need to get fired up here and a little bit more motivated here, simply because we are going into the weekend. It is a little gloomy out here, so I don't know. Maybe it's a sundowners thing or whatever, but it's a little gloomy. Or is that smog? It could be smog because we're in Southern California, right? So I remember growing up a long time ago. This is a little personal thing here, where we'd be down in the valley, and then we drive up to Big Bear, right, with the family. And then as we're driving up to Big Bear, you can go, man, look at all that. It looked like clouds, right? Well, it wasn't clouds. That was all smog, believe it or not, freaking smog. And I go, man, we live in that. We're born in that and lived in it for years and years. And, I guess we're okay to a degree, I guess. I don't know. But it's cleared up a little bit, it seems like, so sometimes you'll drive up there and it looks beautiful, and the smog is, got blown out probably from the, like they say, the Santa Ana winds or whatever, in the rain, because it used to, believe it or not, when I was growing up, we would sleep with the doors open, and there'd be thunderstorms and rain and wind and all kinds of stuff. You don't see any of that shit anymore. So it's kind of trippy. And no, it's not global warming or any of that good stuff. It just is what it is, as you have, I guess as you start changing the terrain, depends on where it's here, the high desert, where you have trees, a lot of houses and stuff, right? So the weather changes, the wind changes, all that good stuff. It's based on the elements. But I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, hopefully it's beautiful wherever you're locked down at and anywhere in the United States of America. I'm going to do a little bit of training here, not too much, but this is all about Friday and Friday highlights and Pulse of Real Estate. What's going on with real estate? Creative real estate is jamming. It's rocking. Wholesaling is doing its thing. Traditional properties are selling, as well as some of them are staying on the market a little longer. And I think that's just an issue based on what they priced it at, and agent issue, broker issue, as well as investors who are saying, man, I got to get this dollar. And I can't go lower, but it's eating up your equity anyways, and turns out to be a shit deal, which is going to suck, right? But, it is what it is. Novations are happening. A lot of people jumped on the novation bandwagon, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome, right? Go for it if you can get it done. Any way you can slice it and make some money is the way to roll. But this is been focusing on this right here with the AMP Live American Mentee program, American Mentee Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. I'm proud of it. It looks nice. It's cool. And it works, right? That's the bottom line. That's a hybrid of our one-on-one mentoring program. We are looking for only 5 people for our one-on-one mentoring program. That's the American Mentee program, the only program of its kind. We train and mentor you and others across the United States of America. One-on-one is true one-on-one and true one-on-one love. Nobody does what we do because simply nobody wants to do it, right? Or wants the responsibility to do it as well. But that's what we got going on. And I believe I'll pop up a couple of QR codes, and you can take a look at that. Definitely like, love, and share. This is being streamed live on several platforms. I was just going to go live on the good old iPhone, but we're running a little bit behind here, but we're here. So we're going to go ahead and share some cool stuff with you. There's a sub-2 calculator that you absolutely need to get. It's going to help you. If you don't know how to break down deals, this is going to help you very quickly. Of course, you have to be able to have the lead first, but we got that solved for you, and that's free too. So just jump in there and get in our ecosystem. Grab that Surfing for Deals, where it's going to help you find leads free. That's it. Free elbow grease is what it's going to cost you. And you just copy and paste, watch the video. It's easy peasy. Do it anywhere in the United States of America. Conversions are about 30-35%. Yeah, not everyone's going to be a deal. Yes, they're going to be distressed properties. There are going to be people who are cheap and don't want to use an agent. There's going to be a reason why they're trying to sell their freaking house on these platforms, period, right? We'll give you a list of keywords and all that good stuff. Easy peasy. Even a cheat sheet. Copy, paste. Do that. Like I said, you can do it on a shitter, or you can do it while you're walking on a, treadmill. I mean, I've done it, walking on a treadmill, and just boom, and then leads just start coming in. You start talking to sellers, get you into the game very quickly. And then from there, you're going to obviously have a lead, but then you need to know what to do with the lead, right? So many people that I know are not underwriting correctly, or just doing the simple math, right? Oh, it's 70% minus ARV, repairs, all this good stuff, right? And there's more numbers than that. An investor like myself or anybody else, and you should be calling yourself an investor. Stop calling yourself a bird dog or a wholesaler. You are an investor. Call yourself an investor. regardless. And if you hang yourself and you believe in yourself in that manner, then hey, people are going to believe what you're saying. You don't know how many times I get on the phone and questions, or people are hiding behind emails, they're hiding behind the text and all that good stuff. I get it. And then some of the investors are, they're cool, and most of them are cool. Right at the end of the day, they'll give you all the information that you need. We'll even show you how to vet those inside of the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, as well as the mentoring program. But without further ado, let's just kind of get into it a little bit. I want to share a couple things with you. I'm going to share the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. I'm going to show you where you can get it, and I'm going to drop it into the chat where you can actually jump on it for free, as well as the surfing for deals. Now, start your journey today, one American, one property, one family at a time. I love it. That's God driven. That's what I started several years ago. I truly believe in that. It is our cause and mission. And hey, I'll keep on hammering away at it, because that's what I believe in at the end of the day. So we'll just keep moving forward. And this just say on this one here, just say one-on-one mentorship. And that's only for the 6 charter members, or all the peeps that come aboard up until midnight. Okay, so this is the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. Is a coaching program, right? It's like you watch the videos, you ask questions. Like I said, it's a very simple schedule. Every single week you get in. It's a lifetime membership. And, as far as, Tuesday, you do your, if you got any support issues. Wednesday, we rock deals and analyze deals and see where the exit strategies are. And on Friday, we go through every part of the one week at a time. We'll go through with some live coaching to get you geared up for the weekend and throughout the rest of the week. But up until Sunday, like I said, there's going to be one-on-one mentoring for up to 6 weeks and 6 weeks only. And then there's live coaching, but the live coaching is going to be every week, no matter what. So we're going to show up on Friday, like even today. We're going to get through it and go through a part of the program. And that'll be inside of the school platform, or RC, once you're lined up in RC. And we're going to go ahead and do that for you. Exclusive training. I'm going to go ahead and move this over here. I'm going to go to the next slide. Just keep on rolling through. But I do have something I do want to share with you. Oh, you can scan that right there. You can go to that QR code, and that's for the Amp Live Accelerator. Lock in your spot. You want to join the Facebook group. It's right up there at the very top. And here's the downloader. You can download for free, and it comes with, believe it or not, 3 bonuses, okay? You're going to get a subject to deal analysis. So this way you're going to know what the hell is a sub 2 deal, because everybody's going to go with the wholesale, right? Hey, is this a wholesale deal? But once you get to 60, 65, 70 cents on the dollar, or LTV wise, if they're not going to accept your offer, then you have to move on, right? You can't go any higher than that, because there's no room for an investor. There's no room for you to make a profit. And obviously, even at 70 cents on the dollar, you still got to factor in your fee, right? 5, 10, 15, 25,000 bucks minimum, to be able to make some money on it. And then you still got to leave enough room for an investor, depending on where they're at spread wise. Is it a number? Is it 30, 40, 50,000 bucks that they need to make on a fix and flip, or buy and hold, whatever it is, or most likely a fix and flip? Buy and hold is going to be a different type of percentage or cap rate along with what they want to make. Oh, got a floating here there. And then so as far as that goes, if you go a little bit higher, right, there are some investors, and if you can sell them, there are investors that will buy at 80, 85 cents on the dollar, because they want deals, right? They're willing to go with tighter margins and blow them out a little quicker if they have to. And because the market is taking longer for properties to sell, but they want them. So, God bless you if you're able to do that. So if you can jump on this is right here. It's absolutely free. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up, see if I have, where's the link? Should be the link right here. There we go. So it's Creative Real Estate. All right, there it is. All right. So I'll go through this real quick. This is a sub 2 fix and flip system. And this is just the agenda. Went through this yesterday. So definitely go check out the video yesterday. We dove in for about an hour and a half on all these subjects here, right? The problem the market's created, the Amp Live sub 2 calculator, how it's going to work with you, maximum allowable offer, 5 ways to find motivated sellers. Because with this program, when you download the sub 2 calculator, obviously you're going to get these for free. These bonuses are going to help you, right? There's 5 ways to find motivated sellers, right? As well as being able to scripts. We're going to give you the scripts so you can actually talk to these sellers as well, which is super important. A lot of people are doing text You can do the text and open up the conversation and get that rolling. You can use the AI to start plugging in if you have a CRM, but eventually you're going to have to just pick up the phone and call them. I get it. Calling sucks, but you got to talk to people. It's easier if they're raising their hand and they're saying, "Hey, I want some information." So that's cool. The cold calling still works. I know that we got Sal, Mr. Texas out there, makes some phone calls. We got a couple of peeps, mentees are making phone calls as well. So even myself, yes, got to get on the phone, make some phone calls, and as well as, you might get a phone call from me. If you see this video, you're watching it, you're probably going to get a text or email saying, "Hey, we're going live. Go check it out." And yeah, it's going to be about the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. So, hey, be nice when I give you a call, or someone on our team might give you a call, just to let you know that there's spots available and to get you in before it goes to 12,997 buckaroos, right? Because once it goes to there, it's gonna stay there. I don't know what we'll do. Maybe, as people are going to drop off and be added, and drop off and be added. That's just the nature of the business. No different than a real estate company. No different than even listing properties. You can have 10 listings. Doesn't mean every single listing is going to pop. You can have 10 deals under contract. Doesn't mean every 10 are going to pop. Unless they're super juicy. That's a little bit different than a listing, right? Because if you have 10 juicy listings that are marketed awesomely, then they'll probably will all pop. But same thing for a wholesale deal, right? Or fix and flip, or not even that. Just say wholesale deal. It's called wholesale deals. Now, if they're all at 60, 65 cents on the dollar, yeah, you should be able to get rid of them. Doesn't mean every single one you're going to be able to, but probably 9 times out of 10, if it's an awesome bang up deal, the deal will sell itself. But even then, things are kind of weird, right? There's anomalies that are happening in real estate right now. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward with this. Now, this is obviously a cheat sheet for repairs and rehabs and stuff you're going to need, right? That's inside of the AMP Live Deal Accelerator, that AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. Prop stream, subject to, deal finder playbook, which is super important. I'm going to show you how to find those properties that are 2 to 5% interest rates. 4 below is what you're looking for, and then stacking those leads. I'm going to go ahead and share the AMP Live TV, always real, raw, and standing for truth. Yes, I'm speeding through this at the end of the day, but just to let you know, I did want to share the subject to calculator with you, or deal automator with you, and share this with you. This is absolutely free as well. Surfing for deals. And this is all you're gonna get this free. So I'm gonna put it in this. I'm gonna put it down in the chat. I'm also gonna it's gonna be floating around all over the place. So definitely jump on it. It's free. It's easy. If you like what's going on, then definitely give us a call. Book a call with myself and my team, and we'll get you onboarded on the one-on-one mentoring, or point you in the right direction if it's not a good fit. It's pretty simple. All right, so let's keep on rolling here. We'll hold you accountable when we do come aboard. There's 30 days to a deal, and you got 6 challenge rules, right? That's required. If you follow those 6 challenge rules, you should be good to go with the contract and be able to get those sold at the end of the day, okay? If for whatever reason, as long as you've done those things, hey, you know what? We'll keep on working with you until and close something, and that's pretty much our guarantee at the end of the day, okay? So let's keep on rolling here. I think, did I put it here? Yeah, I'll share it with you. There you go. Whoop, put that right there. So that's the sub 2 fix and flip calculator. It does work. It's live right now. So the link that you can download is different. Also, we'll put in another link in here where you can actually go to it and use it right now, period. Just so you can see, hey, man, this is awesome. You can use it. I don't have it pulled up. Oh, it's pulled up on another page. Okay. All right, here we go. We'll do this. Oh, this is cool. I'm going to share this with you and put this in the chat. Definitely for a book a call and chat and see, and just have a nice little chit chat about your business and real estate. I'm trying to pull this up here. Let me pull that up here right there. Let me see what we got. There we go. Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, fix and flip calculator. You're going to get the deal automator. You're going to get a checklist for sub 2 to see if you know if you have a deal or not. It's going to be the bonus number 2 is 5 motivated seller scripts from NODs to tired landlords, you name it, which is awesome. And then your maximum allowable offer cheat sheet that you can print out, laminate, put it in your put in your bag of tricks as you're out and about, where you're door knocking or just hitting properties. driving for dollars, surfing for dollars, or anywhere while you're out there, just so you'll be able to become a professional at breaking down deals, which is super, super important. So all those links are there. I don't want to go very much longer because I'm going to come back at 6 p.m. And I have there's always live, real and uncut as well. So you'll be seeing me come in and out throughout the day and through the weekend because we want to fill out the spots for the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. This is right here for tomorrow. I'm going to be Saturday training. We're going to dive into this right here. We're going to get into the mission is the submission, how important that is. Very important to be able to get that information and submit it and then be able to set up that second call unless you're able to write an offer on that first call. But the second call is the one that's going to solidify either writing up the offer or going valley to valley with the seller to get an offer. Okay. Now I know sellers are a little different right now. Depends on what state you're into and what type of lead it is. Is it a pre-foreclosure? Is it is it a probate? Is it a tired landlord? Is it a vacant property? Is it a POS that they just want to sell? There's a lot of different reasons why people want to sell their real estate, but obviously for these purposes, obviously they're all distressed type properties. Now there are nice houses in nice areas, and that's usually after we're done with the submission, and they're going to give us on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 to 5 to 10, right? If it's 1 and 5, then it's probably geared towards a real estate agent. If it's 5 and above, then it's geared towards a real estate investor, right? And that's how you're able to gauge some of this stuff. At the same token, even if they are in a pre-foreclosure status, they may say they're at a 1. Okay, they're not going to just don't want to share that with you, even though you may know, or once you pull up the information, you're going to know, hey, there's some tax defaults. They haven't paid the taxes. Or maybe it's a pre-foreclosure, or maybe 2 or 3 loans. Who knows? At the end of the day, once you do your homework, which is super important, you got to be able to do your due diligence. But this is awesome because it's in 3 simple steps, and that breaks it down for you. It's actually inside of the sub 2 analysis, where you'll be able to know whether you have a sub 2 deal or not, which is right here. I wanted to share this with you. Where's it at? Is that the red? No. Oh, there it is. There we go. Cool. All right. So I'm going to go to this next slide over here. So here you go. So, and here's the reason why there's deals to be had, right? Because there's 12 million rate lock sellers. There's tons of NODs that are rising, and days on the market are longer. Those are all opportunities. Okay. Now, as far as the deal automator, that's what this does, right? So if you plug in these numbers and it's going to pop out, let's say you got a property at ARV of 380, pair cost 42, existing loan mortgage 265, and then the existing interest rate of 3.1. Now, the maximum allowable offer result is about 243, right? But you're thinking, well, you're going to look at this, go, look, existing loan balance is 265, right? How's that going to work? Especially if you have, you're going to punch in those numbers, right? You're going to take that. So that means if it was a wholesale deal, you wouldn't be able to do this. But since it's subject to, you can look at this and go, hey, where's the profit? A lot of times you can make more money doing a sub 2 deal than you can just doing a wholesale deal. But you have to understand and know how to structure those type of deals. And that's what the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator does for you when we're working with you, as well as just figuring this out. Now, it also has on the Amp Live Deal Automator sub 2, it actually has a scorecard, A, B, C, and D. A is for those unicorn deals. B is for a hot, juicy deal. And then C, hey, that's a moderate type of deal. It's profitable. We're okay with those type of deals. The bigger, the better. Obviously, if it's a D, that means, hey, pass next. It does say under 12%. We'll do stuff if you got a deal and it's at 10%. We'll definitely look at it, and we'll most likely want to take it down subject to. So 10% is our minimum. But this on here, if you're just getting started, you're probably going to want to make sure that you pass on those deals. Now, obviously, there's 5 ways to find all these deals, right? One of them is surfing for deals, right? Like we mentioned, which you can be able to jump on. Easy peasy stuff. So there's tons of ways to be able to get these type of deals. There's all kinds of data. There's different ways of doing this, especially when you're talking to a seller. We're going to share that all with you and how that all works. I'm going to move back up here to this here. And I think I thought I had a screenshot. Maybe not. No, I'm going to pull up the deal automator for you guys so you can go ahead and see it. Screen share. Where we got conversations. Maybe that's it right there. Okay. I think that's it. So it's going to be an online version and then a downloadable version. Once you sign up, you'll be able to get the downloadable version. At the same token, there's a link here where you'll be able to just go. You can use it on your phone. It's mobile optimized. You can punch in the address. You can pop in the numbers. And as you can see, it's going to pop up profit margins. Good, right? It's a solid deal, 15.15%. The return on investment's pretty good. And all that other good. Let's see if I can scan. So I go up and down. Oh, okay. Yeah. Usually I could scroll up and down with this to show you the whole thing. Let me see if I could do that here. Where's it at? I believe it's going to be right here and possibly right here. There we go. So if you see you got acquisition costs, rehab budget, here's going to be where you're at with the sub-2 finance advantage, right? And the annual interest that you're saving compared to a regular loan or hard money. That's going to be, look at the market rate. This is a sub-2 rate, 2.8. So you're going to find these if you're looking for buy and hold, right? As we go down here, we're going to look at the total cash required and then the profit, right? Profit looks like at about 89,000 change. Profit margin 15.9. And active market's good, moderate spread. Obviously, if you want to be able to do deals like this, then you're going to want to be able to click that link and log in or just get started, period. I'm going to go ahead and shoot you I think I already sent you the link to be able to get in there. I'm going to send this one. This is going to be for just the dark one. I like the dark one better. There you go. It has a video that you can watch. This is for your surfing for deals, I believe. Let me see. Let me get some verbiage all up in there for you. Let me see. Is it here? Let's go here. Then we'll go here. Nope. Is it not there? Okay. Maybe. Where's it? Oh, it's on this one. Here we go. So you'll be able to learn. Let's give you the full. You can watch the whole master class right here for free. Okay. Then you go right here. All right. Let me see. And I'll put that right up in the chat for you. Okay. So it's pretty cool. Ready? Now deals are coming down the wire, right? As you're running these campaigns. So you're running data, you're running CRM stuff. Let me see if I have something here. Pull this up real quick. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll pull this up. This is cool. I think this is cool. I want you to hear this. All right. What's this? We'll go to there. We go. Okay. Let's see if it'll. Is it not playing? Should be able to play. Let's do it again. Oh, okay. It's not working. Let's refresh it. Okay, YouTube giving the blur bullshit. That's crazy. Need time to load. Blow it up. And then we'll go here. There we go. We'll just let it ride. Share this tab instead. Pull it up. I'm just going to let it run.
Steve and I am with the Americans Helping Americans Mentee program and wanted to take a moment here to do a quick testimonial about the program, about what I'm going through. I'm actually doing this from my car right now because I am out in the field looking at properties already and taking some pictures and making offers at this point. And I'm a month into the program, and Erick has been absolutely outstanding in not only in his knowledge and what he has taught me in this short amount of time. Literally, I'm at a point within 1 month where I am analyzing deals, crunching numbers, and making offers on properties at this point already, which there's no other program that I've seen out there that can do that. On top of that, you have Erick's outstanding mentorship. His knowledge of the business and his knowledge of real estate is just outstanding. But on top of that, he cares about you as a mentee and making sure that you're successful and that you're getting what you need out of the program, and also helping keep your spirits up and keep you excited about what you're doing. So if you're looking at this video because you're considering the Americans Helping Americans Mentee program, I highly recommend it. I really believe that this is a great way for people to get into real estate investing, secure their future, and have that plan B for when things go wrong in plan A. So if you're considering the program, join up, team up with us, and let's go ahead and build our futures together and get excited about this. Thanks. Have a good day.
All right. I love that one. It's always a cool one. He was obviously an IT guy from the Midwest who spun his wheels for quite a while, year and a half. Spent about 25,000 bucks on another program and just kept on spinning his wheels and ended up chit chatting. Found us online. Knew that we're God driven and the journey was he just liked what was being said. It's one of our older videos where we're rocking through a house and rolling through a house back in and out and property we're flipping and all that good stuff. So it resonated with them. So hopefully this resonates with you. Definitely reach out, touch bases. You can go ahead and scan that QR code, or you can set up a call or DM, open door policy. But let's talk about what's going on in the industry right now. Friday highlights, right? The pulse of real estate. So with that said, obviously like him, he was getting involved. He wanted to just buy one house at a time, one house at a time, one house at a time. That's what they call a house hack, right? You buy it, live in it, and then a year later, rent it out, buy another one, continue to build your portfolio till you get ready to retire. You can get yourself 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 houses, or maybe refi them out and buy a 10 unit, 15, 20 unit, maybe a storage unit, RVs, all kinds of stuff. There's stuff there that's cash flows. So once you have that mechanism, you'll be able to move into those other type of vehicles if that's what you choose to do, right? Now, there are people that just want to go straight to multifamily. That's fine. You can do that. It's a little bit of a longer jam. It takes longer to find properties, longer to negotiate, and a lot more due diligence. Doesn't mean you cannot do it, just means it takes a little bit longer to do. So you might want to cut your teeth on a couple of residential here and there if that is the jam. But if it's all residential and this is what you're wanting to do, as far as wholesaling goes, right? I think I put that in there at 6 p.m. We're going to talk a little bit about that, right? Is wholesale, is it a one-trick pony? Yes or no? Yes or no, right? At the same token, how long can you just sustain with the wholesale type deals, right? Also, what do you do when you find a lead? How do you work that lead? So you can have a lead, but if you're not working the lead properly, then that lead can turn into someone else's lead and they'll end up closing it. They'll end up rocking the deal. And you're going, shit, I could have had that deal, right? Why didn't I get that deal? And it's just being, just moving forward and understanding what to do and how to put that transaction together and talk with the sellers and build a relationship with them and continue to move forward to ask the right questions. So I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about just the creative real estate investing side of the business. It is a little different than obviously traditional stuff, right? I'm gonna let you know that when you do come aboard the Amplify Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, right? At least you'll have access to all our resources will be your resources. But at the same token, when you're hunting deals, they're out there. If you get those deals in Southern California, bring them down the wire. Can you buy a house? Yes. Can you buy a house with without a bank? When I got started, can you buy a house with $10, $100? Yes. You got to read between the lines, and it's not like you're lying or to anybody about anything. At the end of the day, it's like, yeah, can I buy your house in 24, 72 hours? I sure can. Whether it's cash or whether I use leverage, doesn't matter how it's done, but it can be done as long as you can get title and title comes through and it's clean, then boom, you can move as fast as that title comes back, right? So, and other people were like, hey, I'll buy your house in 30 days or less. I'll list your house in 30, I'll get it sold in 30 days or I'll buy it type stuff. There's all kinds of different angles or different ways that you can phrase stuff, but you got to make sure you're in the parameters of saying that, being able to do what you say you're going to do. And same thing with, hey, I'll buy your house in 24 to 72 hours. I had a long time ago, there's a guy said, I'm going to put on there, I'll buy your house in 1 day, right? I'll buy your house in 1 minute. I'll buy your house in 7 minutes. Okay, you can put whatever you want, just make sure that you're good to go and you're able to deliver to the seller at the end of the day. So with that said, we don't see a lot of the we buy house type stuff because I was everywhere when I got started. We buy houses, we buy houses, we buy houses. And then we went with we buy houses, ugly ones too, and then ugly onesies too, right? So it's been the jam forever, or at least for that cycle. And then this cycle, it's kind of the same thing. Yes, we're looking for houses and buy ugly houses. We buy houses, sell fast, instant offer. There's all kinds of stuff because there's all kinds of companies that do that now. Website companies, SEO companies. There's so much stuff that they throw at the whole kitchen sink at you that you just get frustrated and the shiny object syndrome starts kicking in and going, shit, I go with this, I go with that. Trust me, I know. Even like launching this program, I'm like, man, there's so much shit to do. You got to do this, you got to do that, do this, do that, this report, that report, this, the PDF, funnel, this, that, and all kinds of shit. Emails and text messages and just, everything it could be daunting. That's the internet marketing side of the real estate side of the business, right? Let alone just real estate, right? So I'm like at the point where, yeah, just send, if you get someone who raises their hand, I'm going to knock it out of the ballpark as far as talking to seller and locking something up. The rest of it, yes, I get it. I know it. I've done it. So I suggest, yes, you at least learn it, move forward. You have to go through it. It's kind of like boot camp, right? If you want to join the Marine Corps, you got to go to boot camp. You got to go to Camp Pendleton. You got to go through the drill, see if you can hang for the 30 days or so that you have to go, because they're going to break your ass down. They're going to do everything that needs to be done to see if you're even going to be able to make it into the Marine Corps, and move forward, or they're going to let your butt go, whoop, right? Because they say this isn't for you. And it's the same thing with real estate, same thing with any business, same thing for any entrepreneurial adventure or journey that you're going to go on. But with us, it is like that, right? But we're nice and gentle, right? We're not going to make you, do push-ups with sand fleas. We're not going to let you, you're going to sit in the water for hours and hours where you think you're going to drown, right? So yeah, you're going to get in there, but we get you prepared first. Think of it as like getting you prepared for a fight, right? Or going to the ring. So we're going to prepare physically, mentally, show you how to protect yourself, show you how to punch, right? Offense, defense, all that good stuff. A couple, proprietary moves that you'll be able to use to be able to take out the opponent, and then get you prepared to even fight the opponent, and then jump in the ring. So at least you'll be halfway dangerous, so you don't get knocked out or get beat up or get destroyed inside the ring. The goal here is, yes, to destroy the other person in the ring, whether it's an investor, seller, or just anybody out there, because that's business, right? In a friendly way, in a competition way, right? Is I guess if you can frame it like that. So that's the goal, right? And then if we see that you start getting your butt kicked and all that good stuff, then we like to jump into the ring too, because we like to get in there and duke it up as well with the sellers, investors, buyers. It's just, especially me, when I get fired up and you get me on the phone with somebody, I get fired up. I want to get in, dig in, and then just move forward, right? Because the goal is to attack, win, win, win. And, that's what we do. So that's what I'm going to share with you. If you can handle that, great. There's some people that can't handle that. There's some people that don't want to talk to people, don't want to talk to sellers, don't want to do that stuff, but they're great in the back. They're great behind the scenes, and that's okay. But I'd say just, hey, it's okay to just make some phone calls and see what's up. And it's a lot easier when they're calling you at the end of the day, because they're already jumping through the hoops. That's the whole purpose of the American Mentee program, is that they jump through the hoops to call you. They jump through the hoops when you talk with them. They jump through the hoops when they do the contract. We jump through the hoops, the whole process of lead, appointment to deals to offer, or I should say, so offers to deals to close of escrow. Jumping through hoops to the whole process, but you're doing it in the AMP Live method. You're doing it in a way where it's professional. They don't even know that it's happening. They may catch on a little bit later on, going, okay, I wonder why that, and we did this and did that. Okay, that's pretty smart of you and how you did it. But as long as when they call, we answer back and we do what we need to do to talk with them and move forward and be respectful, then, hey, everything turns out the way it needs to turn out, okay? So that was just some pro tips, some stories for you at the end of the day. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Like I said, I'll be back at 6 p.m. We're going to dig into some of that stuff. We're going to dig into wholesaling. I'm just going to start from there. We're going to dig into wholesaling, because what this program is about, obviously the AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, is about wholesaling. Lease options, rent to own, and subject to, with a hybrid of what? Seller finance. So you get 3 programs, right? Or I should say 3 exit strategies and some bonus strategies, all in one program, right? Like I said, most programs, if you're going to learn sub 2, it's going to cost you $8,000 to $12,000 plus. Wholesaling, or just real estate investing, as they like to call it, right? With some of these other programs that have been around for a long time, and seminars and all that good stuff, and are 20, 30, 50,000, I've heard, right? For some crazy stuff, inner circle stuff, and all that good stuff. So that's a lot of money, and a lot of people just are not able to be successful at it. And when I talk with them and we chat, I can pretty much diagnose what's missing, right? And kind of be able to say, hey, we can help you. Obviously, it's not free, because we don't work for free. At the end of the day, nobody does. So here's what it is. Yeah, you're going to have to invest a little bit more in yourself and invest in us, and we're going to invest in you. But it's a hybrid program, and it's reciprocal, and it's a little bit different. But this is what's going to help you, right? Because we're going to plug in those pieces that you did not learn, or they didn't share with you, right? And then we're going to move forward so you can be successful, right? I guarantee you, if you just show up to the party, you do what you need to do, have a leap of faith, and execute, I guarantee you'll get results, and you'll get the results, and then we'll move forward, and you'll be successful in the business and be able to close stuff together. That is the essence of AMP Live, the American Mentee program. And now our newest venture, or I should say our newest creation, right? The AMP Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator that's rolled out, and that's not going anywhere. So we're going to keep on rolling with it. I know we're filling up the founding members, the Done Charter, and that's the main focus right now. Obviously, June's going to be all about deals. So as we move forward, then we'll be hunting and be sharing what type of deals are coming down the wire, whether it's here or anywhere in between, like I said, from Florida, from the East Coast to the West Coast, and everything in between. Wherever there's a mentee or a student, we're working with them exclusively, and they're based on the founder or charter member. Then, hey, we're going to be sharing that with you if they want to share it, right? Because I get it. They may not want to share stuff. They might not want to get a camera, but most people do because they know that's what this is about. Everybody wants to, do this type of stuff to a degree. Everybody wants to be a real estate investor. Everybody wants to be a real estate agent or broker of some sort, right? Everybody wants to do some type of real estate one way or another. I guarantee it. I haven't talked to anybody who said, no, I don't want to do real estate. Or they're going to say, hey, well, I'd like to do real estate, but this, and this. There's never a no, I hate real estate, right? Or I hate money or whatever it is. The bottom line is that we're here to help you with that. And the difference is when you have a coach or a mentor, look at it this way. 97% of the people are going to fail when they try to do this or any business. If you have a coach, you're probably going to have about maybe a 5 to 10% better chance to be successful. If you have a mentor, it's about 15 to 20%. You can even say maybe 10 to 15%. But if you with us, maybe about 15 to 20% chance of being successful, because you're just going to rinse and repeat. You're going to learn these things, and the way we do it with muscle memory and how we do the AMP Live method and how we work with you is different than others. I guarantee it, because they just, I'm not going to get into why right now, but I'm just going to share that with you, and I can attest to it. Thank you all, past, present, and future mentees of America. We thank you. But our cause and mission is still the same: to help our fellow Americans crash the United States of America. But if you want to, if you want some information, definitely just reach out, do a chat or a DM. Also, get in our ecosystem, get those free things. We put them together. It took time to put them together, and those are things that we use in the business. So we're sharing them with you. Okay. Like I always say free is shit, and shit is free. I don't believe in free, but someone has to pay for it. So that's us. That's me. Even if it's a mentor, when I piggybacked on my mentor, he had to pay 40 years of experience, right? But I also had to bring, it wasn't for free. I had to bring tremendous value. I had to know my shit. I had to know my numbers. I had to know certain things before that person would even talk to me or work with me. Yeah, they talked with me, maybe a little lunch because they're hospitable and they want to help people, because that's how people are. 9 times out of 10, when they're rocking and vibrating at a higher rate, they want to help other people because they kind of remind them of themselves, right? Same thing here. And I could have blew it. He probably thought I was going to go away, but the next day I brought a deal. I brought the shit to the table, right? I wasn't making shit up. I brought it to the table. Here's the deal. Here's the money. Here's the structure. Here's what I'm doing. Boom. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. But it also opened the door up to not just fix and flip and buy and hold. And I was wholesaling before wholesaling was even called wholesaling. So it's like, hey, what's the next logical step? Creative real estate investing, right? What the hell is creative real estate investing? As I always say, here's a long ass title, right? Creative real estate investing was called, hey, buy a house for $10, $100, fix, flip, buy and hold, good credit, no credit, bad credit, doesn't matter. You can buy a property with no banks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Creative real estate investing. Too damn long, right? How are you going to put all that on a marquee? But then social media came out and said, boom, you can do the same thing, kind of, sort of, but it's a simple way, right? It's called wholesaling. And everybody became a real estate mogul, or tried to be anyways, right? So a lot of YouTubers and TikTokers and people just watching videos, good luck to you on all that good stuff. It's just going to take a lot longer to do and to figure out without someone bouncing off information to go, hey, is this right? Is it wrong? Is it right? Is it wrong? Should I do this? Should I do that? That's having the power of a mentor. Yeah, a coach is going to be there to root you on and say, do this, do that. Let's go. Mentor takes it to another step where you're going to go, hey, no, okay, look, going to let you fall and you get beat up. Hey, that was your decision because you decided to make that decision. If you do this and this and this, here's the end result. And some people are stubborn. They'll go this route and they'll go ahead and go down the hallway. Like I always say, here's the analogy, right? Say, I want to make a right-hand turn. You keep on going. You say, hey, Eric, you going with me? No, go for it, because we know what's down there. But you can go check it out. We know there's nothing down there, but they got to go check it out because human beings are curious people, curious creatures, right? So they'll go. Some of them who have that leap of faith say, they are like Steven is, nah, man, just tell me what to do. If there's nothing down there, I ain't going down there. F all that. Tell me what we need to do. Well, we need to make, let's go left. Here's the money. Here's the structure. We can go wholesale. We go sub 2. We go fix and flip, or we can take an option. Here's all the extra strategies. I'm going to go over them with you. Which one do you want to do? You pick one. Let's go. And that's what happens, right? I know we had a mentee a long time ago, fix and flipping a property, going to wholesale it up. He had some money, saved up some cash, and happened to have some cash. And say, hey, can we do fix and flip this? Can we really fit? Yeah, if you want, we can go sub 2. Let's go from a wholesale contract and selling it off to an investor to let's pivot, draft it all up, turn it into a sub 2 deal, subject to existing financing. You go ahead and make up the back payments. We're going to take on the property and fix it up. And we put it back on the market. We're going to JV that some bitch and fix and flip it, and then boom, spread it. Instead of getting maybe a $10, $15, or $20,000 wholesale fee that we would have had split, no, we had to go with the fix and flip, right? And go that route and make a lot more money. So those things can happen even with you. You're going, man, a lot of people say, I just want to wholesale because I want to make some money, put some money in the bank, and I want to start building up and do these other things, right? But if the opportunity comes, it's a no-brainer. Why would you not take down the deal? And no money's going to come out of your pocket unless you're partnering up like we did with that young man. That's different, right? But it was still worth it. Now, when we're doing this, you're going to use private money, or we may buy the deal from you and still get paid, right? And still work the deal and still move forward, right? When we're doing this stuff. So the way we do these things are a little different than most of the other companies that are out there, or agencies or education companies, whatever. We're not going anywhere. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not going anywhere unless I decide that I want to drop off, say I'm done with this shit. Boom, knock on wood. We're going in this direction stuff. Instead, we're going to sell, I don't know, what do we got? What's popular right now? The shot, right? Take that shot of Ozempic or whatever, or, you get that Ozempic face or some shit, right? And you lose some weight. I think there's some major buckaroos in that. I think that people, I'm should probably think about that. It's like, that's like a business, right? Can we sell that stuff, or do you have to be a doctor? I don't know. Right? You could probably throw a ton of marketing towards it and boom, get salespeople and just start selling that shit online and get people signed up. I don't know if you need to have a prescription or whatever, but that would be awesome because everybody and their mother's buying that shit. And it's like the magical weight loss shot, which is pretty cool. So that's something we got to think about, right? See, what else is out there? What else is good? I know there's some other good stuff that people are talking about business-wise, and they're making that pivot and making some moves. So obviously you should have multiple streams of income, which is obviously a no-brainer. I think that came from David Allen. If that's his name, I can't remember. A long time ago, he had a book about buying no money down, lease options, no money down, all that good stuff, right? He was there, and then he disappeared and came back a little bit, disappeared. I know that there's a guy named Peter Conte, which has a couple of books I read, which helped me in my business when I read them. But now he's all into commercial stuff, and I get that. So that's probably the jam. It's probably our next move is commercial property stuff, right? I know Cardone's doing that, right? He bought one house, said, "Oh, F this, I need to go buy it." One roof, many doors. One roof, many doors. How? Right? So, and do his stuff and crowdfund that shit, right? So he tapped into, he just let that shit rock and roll. So he's on the right track with all that good stuff for sure. That's the way to roll. But anyways, any questions, definitely reach out, touch base. I'm not going to put my eyeballs on here. Let me see what we got on here with the chat. Definitely reach out, say hi. Let me go back to the chat. I'm going to put my little rock and roll in here. And actually went to a networking thing yesterday. It wasn't too bad. I didn't usually I go live whenever we go out, do this, go live here and there. But just wanted to chill out, relax, fill out the people, enjoy the networking, right? And just talk to people. And, I know I get it. There's I guess a secret to all that, right? You network, get a card, get a phone number, boom, boom, do all that good stuff, right? Thing. And haven't been out networking in a long time, right? So as far as that goes, but it was a pretty decent event. It was nice. It was clean. There was some food. There was some drink, some good people, some booths and stuff, right? Got some good knowledge. Talked to one old guy. He was pretty cool. 70 years old. Congratulations to that guy. Had a business. I guess he's been going to those meetings since 1989 or something like that, which I thought was pretty cool. And, as soon as I come to these things, I want to make sure we're good. And he's into the stock market. I guess he had an eye business or something. And shit, 70 years old, his eyes are better than mine because I had to use these things, right? He's all, hey, you gotta check this out. Let me show you what you doing, man. So you got to go out there and get yourself a fan page, right? So he's all proud about being part of social media. He goes, yeah, I got one in New York, and I got like 22,000 followers. I said, New York? Do you live in New York? And why not the one? Yeah, you have some local ones, right? They're not as popular. But so why is that one popular? Oh, because I'm always posting, working out, and showing stock market stuff and everything. So I was like, that's pretty cool. So what drives that? He goes, because I love New York. I said, okay, cool. But he was expressing that, showing me some of his stocks he was recommending, and this. You got any recommendations? He shared a couple of them, and obviously he broke out his phone and started showing me stuff. Right, homeboy didn't need any glasses, and I'm like younger than him. I had to, let me see. Let me put these some bitches on. So he gave me some recommendations on some stock, gave me some recommendations on the eyeballs and how to fix it, and stuff like that. Good conversations, but who knows? Met some other good people as well. So I just want to give a shout out to that. It was definitely productive, and it was good meeting people. And obviously that's what it's all about, right? Real estate is all about a person reaching out to people and having, the personal element and all that good stuff, right? So it's always good to keep those skill sets up too, because we can get like, I feel like I've been a mad scientist, just locked in for this program, the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, because I've been wanting to roll it out for years and years and years, but I scrapped it like 6 times. Here's the 7th time. 7 times the charm. 7's the lucky number 7, right? So I'm going to keep on pushing and rolling this thing because I want it to explode into the market, because I know it can help our fellow Americans. I know that there's people that need what we have here, which through the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, which is going to be a segue into our one-on-one mentoring program, which gets you into our ecosystem as far as that's concerned. And then obviously into VIP Execs Realty Lending and Investments and Luxury Properties, Step into Excellence. That's our affiliated associated partner, where it's a brokerage, right? Real estate, list properties, find properties, sell properties, and obviously move into the loan part, right? Conventional loans, Freddie, Fannie, conventional jumbo loans, hard money if you need it, right? Especially in this. For this, you actually will it'll be part of the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, and now we're bringing that to the American Mentee program, where it'll be part of the onboarding process. You'll be introduced. It'll get you qualified for a hard money loan. It takes about 48 hours. See if you can or not. Doesn't matter. You should always at least check. I know, because when I bought my first house with my wife, I didn't, I thought I had to fix some credit and do this and do that and do that. But, she in her fine wisdom said, no, kind of duped me and said, hey, I ended up coming home and there's a lender there. And I'm like, I'm tired. I just want to eat when I go to bed, because I'm working 6 days a week, 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And didn't really want to talk to anybody, but it was the smartest thing we ever did, because I guess he was able to get us qualified through a couple of this other program. It was actually called, it was a type of government, not FHA, USDA or something like that. And was able to get qualified very quickly, had to do some stuff. My boss, luckily I busted my ass, and my boss was cool, because there's certain times I had to get off the phone and then go do some stuff with the purchase of the house. And he's like, man, yeah, go do your shit, man. Go do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. That's that part where I mentioned earlier, right? If you do more than what you're paid to do, you always will have a job or a career or a lifestyle. You just got to do more than what you're paid to do. Or in I guess in this situation, you or anybody else we work with is doing more. We're here to do more, and I'm going to share that with you, and how you can do more for your clients, how you can do more for your sellers, for your buyers, for your investors. So then you're the go-to person at the end of the day, and they're going to go to you because they like you, they love you, and they want to rock with you. Heck, they even want to pay you more because they just feel obligated to do so. And that should be the jam, right? And I know that a lot of times people go, should go to friends, but why don't my friends or why don't my family members, use me as an agent or use me in business? People are just weird that way, I guess, right? But it doesn't matter. You got all kinds of other people to work with at the end of the day, right? So I'm going to wrap this up for Friday highlights. And let me see if I have anything here. The QR code is there. Scan that QR code, jump in, save your spot, get your spot locked in for Friday highlights. And I believe we're all good to go. Make sure you get this. I'm going to pop that up there. It's in the chat. So make sure you download your free Sub2 flip and fix and flip calculator, along with the 3 bonuses that are going to go hand in hand with that calculator, because they fit, right? That's what it's geared to do. Also, jump on the Surfing for Deals. It's absolutely free too. Once you get in there and you like what you hear, you like what you see, then boom, definitely come aboard the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing. Call myself, or let's get you into the American Mentee program to get you up and running and rocking and rolling. Think of it as like franchise, right? Without the franchise fees, without the franchise control. But that's what I believe in. Every business should be like a franchise, right? With the branding, with the systems, with the processes. You know, everything that you put out and roll out should look sexy and awesome and tough, right? And as well as solving a problem for your client, all right? So hopefully we're bringing some value to you today and solving some issues with you today as well. I'll be back at 6 p.m. It's 3:38. Once again, reach out, or you may get a call from me if you're somewhere in our ecosystem. So don't be afraid of that. Hey, everything is all about connecting, right, and sharing, text, email, all that good stuff. I know some people are weird like that. I get it. We'll never spam you. It's always going to be real estate related, but it blows my mind, say, hey, okay, this is what you wanted. And then, whatever, as far as that goes with, opting out, that's cool. I guess the internet marketer said, hey, you want them to opt out because you don't want their business. They're just tire kickers. They're looking for free shit. And they're never going to do anything anyways. That's kind of cynical, but I guess it's the truth, right? It's out of the guru's mouth, right? At the end of the day. Yeah, so same thing here, right? With the text and email. So I guess I should be grateful that they opt out if they do. For me, I just stayed logged in because you never know what that person has. Shit, they may have the email series. I go, man, I like that. I think I'm going to swipe it and use it. Maybe it's a tech series. Man, I'm going to swipe it and use it. I'm going to reverse engineer it. Heck, I like these things, right? The calls, cool, whatever. Because if you're in business, you're an entrepreneur. Now, if you have a JOB, it's different because you're going to be like, hey, stop doing that. Stop doing this. Stop whining, crying, blah, 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 because they're in that box, right? When you're in that box, you're in the box. Now, there's awesome, lovely people that are in the box, but they love their job and they just have a better attitude. So they're like, yeah, cool. Text me, email me. It's awesome. Cool. Yeah, whatever, right? And that's the way it should be. It's business, right? Nothing's free in life. I think I was I'll wrap this up, a little story. But we had to go to Subway for my son and get a sandwich, right? And nothing bigger than a 20. I guess he had 100, wanted to go break his 100, wanted to use his money and bought himself a sandwich, right? And some chips and some cookies. And it's like, oh, you can go to 7-Eleven or whatever right here and, or this gas station, maybe they'll cash it, right? So I'm like, shit, all right, so let's go. We walk over there and there's a guy back there, he's all like, freaking pissed off, had a turban on and shit, like, oh man, okay. Hopefully he's not going to be a prick and not cash this, just do this, cash in this 100 or give us change for 100. So we just got a couple sodas and a couple other things. I think it was water and a drink. So I said, here we go. Let me have that. Give me that $100, Eric Paul. So I grabbed it because I know that he may act a little bit different with Eric Paul there. So I grabbed it and had to do what we do, man. We just turn shit on, right? You turn on the faucet and you go, okay, let's turn that frown upside down. Hey, how's it going, man? What's up? Hey, boo, 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 boo. How was your weekend? What's going on? What are you going to do this weekend? Smile. Then all of a sudden from his frown, all fucking beefed up. He's like, yeah, well, I won't do any voices and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you got to be here. I'm good to go. This is what I do. So, we got to do what we got to do because nothing's free. I said, man, yeah, not even the air, right? He said, no, not even the air, this and that. He's like, no problem. I took the 100, cashed it all in, boom, we split, right? So that's the same thing with real estate, right? You just turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off at your convenience once you get good enough to do that. Or it's in life, it happens, It's everything that you do, right? People say, I'm not a salesperson, but people sell every day. If they're wanting to get something or they need something, whether it's, getting a better price at Walmart. Well, that's what the price says. And you argue for 50 cents. And some people are like that. Others are like, nah, I don't give a shit. Here you go. Either pay it or, here, keep your shit. Right. And that happens, so everything's a little bit different. The world's a little weird right now. The world's a little different, obviously, with the, everything that's gone on. So people are, are just not as hospitable anymore. And I'll be honest with you. I know it's not Sunday rants and raves, but just some open stuff there. So don't get offended if somebody throws you a middle finger emoji or talks some shit while you're sending some text messages to people, even a phone call, right? That kind of, not gonna lie, because I'm a person who just believes in customer service. Take the golden rule: treat others as you'd like to be treated. You're gonna say something to me, and I'm gonna say some shit back to you. But when you're in this business, you got to be professional because it's the brand. You got to have, you got to respect the other people on the other side at the end of the day, of course. But if they're disrespecting you, then yes, there's certain things you can do or not, or just, boop, delete them son of bitches and say, good luck to you. We'll pray for you. And hopefully, your life doesn't get worse. Right. And at the end of the day, it is what it is, but people are a little bit different right now. Right. And they just think that they can say or do things to other human beings and be okay with it and not have any repercussions. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter. If you harm or hurt any other human beings in any way, physical or mental, it's going to come back to you in one way or another. That's just the way it is. That's the way of the universe. It's the way of God. It's the way of things and how they work in this universe, right? It's all based on frequency and intensity and all that good stuff. So those things are true. So you guys got to remember, you don't know who you're messing with at the end of the day, whether it's good or bad with people. I think Tate even said that, right? And he's a kickboxer and all this other good stuff. And he goes, hey, man, if people are getting all crazy, sometimes you just got to walk away because you don't know what's on the other side or what's on that person's mind, whether they got a gun or they're going to freak out or come back and try to do some shit. Not worth it. You just address it. You say, okay, boom, move on. Now, if they approach you and physically that's different, right, then things are going to happen, right? Some crap's going to happen. So, but it's pretty interesting how people act these days. So sometimes you just got to look at it. You got to laugh at it. You got to let it roll off your back and things of that nature and just continue to move forward. That's my little pro tip to you right now. So if you get some crazy stuff in, text or all that good stuff, pick your battles, right, at the end of the day so you can win the wars, right? I say attack, win. That's the goal when you're doing this stuff. So you might want to push it always a little bit more. Some people, here's some pro tips too. When you're on the phone, you're doing some stuff, or even text, and you're talking to people trying to get them on a horn. They're thinking, hey, you know what? What about this? I got it fixed. I got it worked out. But if it's a pre-foreclosure distress situation, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to get worked out. Maybe 1% of the time it does get worked out because they have some money, a husband, or someone actually a family member does come and help them out with something. It's very rare. But you are going to be their savior at the end of the day, right? So it's a beautiful thing, and it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a fix and flip, buy and hold. It could be a probate. It could be a vacant property. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because we're already in it at what? Oh, a fucking hour? Shit. Okay. Yeah, we're done here, man. It's a whole hour. I just wanted to go in for like 20, 30 minutes, but I kept rolling. But hopefully you got some value from this. Rock and roll and all that you do. I'm going to go ahead and put this back up here. That's absolutely free. Take advantage of that. And obviously, this is the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing. This is Friday highlights in the Amp Live Real Estate Show. Thank you for watching. Like, love, and share. Appreciate it. Definitely throw some loves and likes and do the chat and all that good stuff. Take advantage of those things that I shared with you. They're going to help you in the business. I guarantee it. If you have any questions on how to use it, definitely reach out or, hit support or whatever you need to do. And I appreciate you. Okay, so definitely have an awesome Friday. I'll be back a little bit later on this evening as well. We'll be back for Saturday for some Saturday training and field type stuff. And then Sunday for Sunday rants and raves. Keep on rocking and rolling. Remember, this ends on Sunday at midnight for the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. It's $1,997. And then on the end of midnight, it's going to go to $12,997. I did decide to extend it because I want to make sure that we have some solid people that I want to work with, we want to work with. And this, we might even choose you at the end of the day to spend some extra time with you. If you show up to the party, you answer the calls, you answer the text, and you're like, man, you know what? This is what I really, really want. And you chit chat with us because we're going to do a call with everybody who comes aboard to see where you're at, to help you build a game plan, to help you build a target, and then launch you and let you roll, right? And then if you want to step it up, then we're offering to do that and help you out along the way. So that's a different hybrid of our one-on-one mentoring program. And it's also way better than a do-it-yourself type stuff. Watch the videos, answer the questions, and good luck to you. And there's no support or maybe email support or maybe there's some type of chat. We're digging deeper with the founders and the charter members because you guys and gals are going to be the core and the basis of this whole program, right? Which is super, super powerful as far as I'm concerned. I want to dig deep into the reasons why, but I think you got a good understanding of that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Rock and roll and all what you do. Keep on rocking and rolling. You have an awesome, beautiful, lovely Friday, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.